Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. Call it a tale of two presidents, Donald Trump and Barack Obama, with nearly back-to-back speeches this week, each rallying their party, hoping to garner support for the 2018 midterms. But their points of view couldn't be more different. Here's President Trump on jobs.
We've added over 400,000 new manufacturing jobs that the Democrats say are gone. And that number is going to very shortly, with what's happening in certain areas, be well over 600,000 manufacturing jobs. African-American unemployment recently achieved the lowest, think of that, the lowest rate, lowest ever recorded in the history of our country.
Now, President Obama had a little bit of a different perspective with the economy. Instead, he took credit for it. Listen.
When you hear how great the economy is doing right now, let's just remember when this recovery started, when the job numbers come out, monthly job numbers, and suddenly Republicans are saying it's America. I have to kind of remind them, actually, those job numbers are the same as they were in 2015 and 2016.
Here with a reaction, former White House strategist Dr. Sebastian Gorka and author of the new book, Mad Politics, Keeping Your Sanity in a World Gone Crazy, Dr. Gina Loudon. So, Dr. Gorka, I know that you've been glued to the television watching President Obama over and over because you missed him so much. Am I wrong?
That's not even funny, Jesse, okay? I like not to be a subject of Dr. Gina's books, okay? So my mental health is important to me. So I love the Trump rallies. I watch my old boss every chance I get. But you know what? The community organizer, pass, hard pass.
It's amazing he's now trying to take credit for the economy after having the weakest recovery since the Great Depression. But Dr. Gina, it's funny that once you have the torch passed from President Obama to President Trump, the economy exploded. There was a stock market explosion. Wages have gone up significantly. There's been a manufacturing explosion.
Right.
On almost every level, it hasn't been a continuation. It's been an explosion.
An explosion. We're talking about 4 million jobs. We're talking about all-time record growth. We're talking about an economy we've never seen before, and Obama can't take credit for that. Let's remember one thing. We have a businessman in the White House who has made all of this happen. I can't remember if Obama ever actually held a job in the private sector, but I don't believe he did. I certainly know he never ran a company. No. He never did hardcore negotiations. We're seeing the fruit of that sort of a president right now, and Obama cannot take credit for that.
I would tell President Obama, you didn't build that.
Right, exactly.
So it's also interesting that he's now lecturing America and saying that we're now in a place of deep hatred and darkness and division. Here was the former president's assessment about the current state of affairs. Let's hear it.
Appealing to tribe, appealing to fear, pitting one group against another, telling people that order and security will be restored if it weren't for those who don't look like us or don't sound like us or don't pray like we do. That's an old playbook. It's as old as time.
Now, Dr. Gorka, it wasn't too long ago when Barack Obama was disparaging the bitter clingers and telling Christians they needed to get off their high horses. I mean, he's one of the most divisive presidents in the last 100 years, and the polls reflect that.
Who said that at the Thanksgiving table, you need to get in the face of family members who disagree with you. That's what he said. Look, Jesse, you have an incredibly popular show. You have a light touch. It's funny. But I need to be serious for a second, okay? What he just said, that clip you showed, is an affront and a lie. Nobody in the mainstream conservative world, nobody is saying we need to stop the people who look different from us.
Yeah, it's a straw man argument.
We need to be afraid. I mean, it's reprehensible. Nobody is saying the threat to us are the people who look different from us. Yeah. If I ever met this man, I don't know if I ever will, but if I ever met Barack Obama, who's lying in that clip, I'd ask him one question, just one question. In the last year, the approval rating for Donald J. Trump from the black American population has doubled, Jesse. Doubled. How does Barack Obama explain that?
Well, maybe he says
cannot.
it's Kanye's fault because maybe Kanye maybe told everybody to listen. But you know what? I am making a joke, but you're right. To insult half of America as bigots is so reprehensible coming from a former president. And let's remember, this was the first black president of America. I mean, the majority of America, red, white, and blue, black, white, everything,
yes,
voted for this man twice to occupy the Oval Office. So this country is not a bigoted country. It's a very, very beautiful country that respects everybody and listens to what they have to say. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and another correction of our dear former president. We live in a republic. Not a democracy, and maybe he needs a little history lesson there. But he is the king of identity politics,
You're right.
Jesse. He's the guy that divided us over and over again for 8 solid years. The division you see on television today, this was not created by this president, who has made everyone equal by making record unemployment across the board, as the president mentioned, for blacks, for Hispanics, for Asians, for high school dropouts, for crying out loud, for summer jobs for youth. The unemployment is at record low. Our economy is at record high. Everybody benefits from that. That is true equality, the likes of which Barack Obama wouldn't know no matter what.
I mean, these things we used to debate all the time on Fox News. If you were against Islamic terror, he would call you an Islamophobic.
Right.
If you wanted people to have to show ID when they voted because you didn't want voter fraud, you were considered a racist.
Right.
If you wanted a country that had borders, you were considered xenophobic under Barack Obama.
Yeah,
and it's just the same old talking points that he used for the last 8 years.
Yeah, it's tired old snowflake talking points. But let me just be very clear about who the president is, because we have this anonymous opinion piece that was published, clearly by somebody who's never spent any amount of serious time in the Oval Office and has never worked closely with the president. And this is what the left will never understand. Donald J. Trump does what he does in terms of securing America, in terms of unleashing the economy for all Americans. He doesn't care less your skin color, your accent, where you were born. In fact, the stunning thing about this man, Jesse, he doesn't care if you voted for him or not. If you voted for Hillary, if you wanted Bernie to win, he doesn't care. If you're an American here legally, he wants you to be safe, and he wants you and your family to prosper. End of story. And the left will never, cognitively, this is for, Dr. Gina's specialty, cognitively, they will never be able to absorb that truth.
Well, it's the Trump derangement syndrome.